Let's get started by creating a new composition. Go to Composition, New Composition and name it to Particles. For this I'm using Full HD resolution and frame rate of 24 FPS. Length of this composition is 10 seconds. Click OK. Now create a new solid layer and name it BG and click OK. Now create a new solid layer. Name it Particles and click OK. Now add the image to the project. Same images provide in the description down below. Move image to the timeline. And click the 3D box icon. Now scale the image by pressing S. Scale it as much you like. Now select Particles layer and go to Effect and Presets. Search for Trapcode and Particular effect. Now go to Emitter section and change particles per second to 7000. Change emitter type from point to layer. Change velocity to 0. Now go down and open Layer Emitter and select your image layer. Change None to Image Layer and Layer Sampling to Current Time. Perfect. To see the effect, hide your image layer from the timeline. Cool. Now go again to Effects panel and go to Particles section. Now change life per second to 1. Change sphere feather to 0. And change size from 5 to 2. Perfect. Now go to your image layer and press R to make rotation on X-axis. Change rotation from 0 to -90. Now add a new layer, and select Camera and rename it Cam. Press OK to add this layer to timeline. Now press R on the camera layer. And rotate Z-axis from 0 to 30 degrees. Now go to Tools panel and select Orbit Camera tool to rotate. Now select Track Z camera tool to zoom the particles. Zoom it as per your need. Now duplicate your particle layer by pressing Ctrl D, or you can go to Edit and press Duplicate. Now change these settings in Effects panel. Go to Emitter and change particles per second to 300. Now go to Particles and change life per second from 1 to 3. Change the size to 5. Now go to Physics and go to Air and change the wind Y to 400. Now go to Auxiliary System, change Emit to Continuously. Now change particles per second to 200. Change size from 5 to 2. Now go to Opacity over Life and change the preset. Now go to Color over Life and change the preset to Gradient. Now double-click the lock button to open Color panel to change the color. You can use any color, but we are using the image. Do the same procedure for another lock button. Rename this layer to Particle 2. Now duplicate the particle layer and rename it to Particle 3. Now change one setting on all the particles layers. Go to emitter and change emitter size Z to 0 in all the layers. Now go to layer particles 3 and change particles per second to 3000. Change velocity to 100. And emitter size Z to 0 for this layer as well. Now go to particles and change life per second to 3. Now let's play it. Beautiful. Now, last part is to animate it. Go to Cam Layer and open Camera option. Turn on Depth of Field. Change focus distance to 1350 pixels. And change aperture to 400 pixels. Perfect. Now go to Transform and go to Position and click the stopwatch to add a keyframe. Now move the timeline to 1 second. And change the position of the camera using Orbit Camera tool from the tool panel. Perfect. Now go to 0 frame and move the first keyframe to the start and move the last keyframe to 4 seconds or any time which you like. Select both the keyframes and right-click it and go to Keyframe Assistant and select Easy Ease, or you can press F9 to do it as well. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.